Well, welcome back. On Monday it was rats, Tuesday it was buttons, and then the Speakmans cured clowns, phobia.
Well, today it's the turn of Lisa Wainwright, a mum of one who lives her life terrified of dogs.
My phobia is dogs, be really small, yappy types or really big bounding types. Really just any dog. Just the thought of them just makes me really upset. I get really sweaty and my heart really pounds. I can feel it. Sometimes I can't even remember how I've reacted because it's kind of been like a blind panic.
Living with Lisa's phobia does restrict a lot of what we can do. We love to go for walks. We never really get a chance because obviously it's going anywhere where there could be a dog. It's a no-go.
It upsets me how much it upsets Lisa. She can't come to the house obviously because I've got a dog. And I've been in this house for quite a few years now and she's never been able to come round, so it does have a big effect.
There are different streets that I know where I'm more likely to have a dog roaming. I'll even walk miles around an area to get where I need to go just to avoid those particular streets. I won't walk down that area because there's usually dogs running around on this grassy bit and there's one now, so I'm really scared. It's looking at me. Oh, the pram, oh, the pram, oh, the pram. Is it coming?
Come here.
My legs just feel like they're going to give way and I just want to cry. And my heart's pounding. To be rid of the fear, actually makes me quite emotional just because it's something that's plagued my life literally for nearly 30 years, and I want my son to not have this fear. Desperately don't want him to grow up with this.
Well, Lisa, along with her husband James and Nik and Eva Speakman are here now, and even watching that, I mean, in fact, you didn't watch it, it's upset you, it just being in the background, hasn't it?
Yeah. When
did it start? Can you remember?
I have a vague memory of being really young and my baby brother was, I think the dog tried to bite him. I don't think it actually did bite him, but I can only remember my mum's reaction. I can just remember her screaming and saying, it's bit him, and just being really hysterical.
And you were cornered by dogs as well at one point, weren't you? What happened there?
Again, it's a bit of a distant memory, but I can just remember two dogs on a certain street, and they just, because I freeze sometimes, because I don't run, because I know they'll run after me, and they just sort of sat watching me, and I didn't dare move, and they sort of didn't really do anything, and afterwards I realised they didn't do anything, but at the time I just can't,
scared
I can't
stiff.
tell myself that at the time.
So how's it impacted on your life?
Well, I've been thinking about this and I think it sounds really dramatic, but it's almost like I haven't really lived my life with it. I've lived kind of there's been lots of instances where I've not done what I wanted to do because of the fear.
Well, also, James, it doesn't just impact there, it's on everybody's life, everyone who is around her. And you too, family holidays and going out.
Yeah, anything we do, we always have to consider, is there going to be a dog there? Could there be a dog there? What would we do if there was a dog there? Would there be a way of getting out of it? Yeah. So we end up sort of avoiding doing a lot of things that we'd like to do because of it.
Lisa, what about different breeds? I mean, are there different breeds that are worse, or is it all dogs in general?
It's all dogs in general. I'm a bit better at seeing a dog from a distance if it's smaller or if it's cuter. I can cope with that. And seeing dogs on TV a bit better if they're smaller and cuter, but even just like I heard the word Rottweiler earlier on this morning and I could feel my heart pounding in my chest. So it is all dogs, but they kind of affect me differently. And if there were bigger dogs on the TV, I'd turn the channel over. Yeah.
Well, let's get Diana in here. She's been here all week, just monitoring everyone's heart rate. And yesterday we had a heart rate of 161, and we were just about getting into the realms where it actually becomes unhealthy. And that heart rate after a cure was down to 85, 86, 87, you know, sort of normal resting rate. So there you go. Now you're all wired up because you know, and we don't do surprises here, and we've said this all week. We don't sort of suddenly shock you. Here's something you're not expecting. Everything is done slowly, just to see how far you can go. And Holly's got some pictures. Okay, so you're right to look at some pictures of dogs.
Yeah.
And see how you feel. So we're going to start off with this one.
Heart rate at 102 at the moment.
Yeah.
That's okay?
Yeah, but I've just heard a sniff back there, so I think I'm a bit mixed up. But yeah,
so that's
okay.
a little
I could
picture,
come up with looking at that.
of a
That one's
chihuahua.
okay. Right, let's move up slightly. This one, slightly bigger dog.
And it's got more of a pointy face, but for some reason...
Don't
that
like the
bothers
pointy
me.
face bit.
No.
It all seems to do with its bite, doesn't it, with you? Like pointy face, the nose, the bite, whether it's...
And if I can see teeth...
Okay.
Oh, it's just...
Let's have a look at this one.
Yeah, like that one's awful.
You don't like that one?
No.
Okay, well, I'm going to put that one away.
Heart rate of
don't need to...
125,
Okay.
129. Now,
So
you know that
clearly more
also
distress.
behind this curtain we've got some dogs.
Yeah.
Okay, are you okay for us to open the curtain?
Yeah, can I just move the chair slightly back?
Yes,
Yes,
move the
of
chair
course
back
you
if you want to, of course you can. And at any stage you want this to stop, then we will stop it, okay? You don't have to do anything you don't want to do.
That's fine, yeah.
Okay, let's open
We'll do
the
it really
let's
slowly.
open
Let's pull the curtains slowly and just...
Here we go. Now here's a look. There's a little one.
There's a little chihuahua. So how do you feel about that?
Yeah, not too bad.
And he's on a lead
He's on a
as well,
lead.
which is a big thing for you, isn't it?
Would
okay.
this lady be all right to walk past you and walk out with that dog?
As long as it stays to that side.
As long as it
of her.
stays over here. Okay, thank you very much indeed. You can walk straight through. Thank you very much indeed. There we go. Thank you. Let's bring the next
Well
one
done.
in.
You're doing well.
Next
You're
one's
doing well.
next one's a bit bigger. Heart rate at 120. Here we go. This this one's a bit bigger. How do you feel about that?
He looks giddy.
Yeah.
You don't like this
No.
one?
Don't like that one.
Okay.
Would you like him to go back the way he came, or are you happy for him to walk past?
For him to go back.
Back the way he came.
Yeah.
Could you go back the way you came?
Bye-bye,
Thank you very
Beagle.
much indeed. And obviously we're going up in size now, so the next one is bigger. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Here we go. This is the next dog. And then you've got an Alsatian.
Okay.
How do you feel about that?
Sorry.
No?
Yeah.
Would you
I'm
like a
sorry.
heart rate of
Don't say
129?
sorry.
Should we take the
Don't
dog
say
off?
sorry. Let's take the dog away.
It's
I think so.
fine,
Thank
it's
you.
fine.
Thank you. I know you're trying to make it because you feel a bit silly about
Yeah,
it. I
I
can
feel
see that, but you
completely
mustn't
silly.
because this is common.
It is
Extremely common, and I think that the difficulty we've got today is that this started off with an incident where she was concerned about her brother, and therefore it's linked to a post-traumatic stress disorder, essentially, because it was an incident that actually happened that caused a lot of fear inside her that created the phobia. So you can see why she's getting so upset.
And the other issue that we've got here as well is that with the other phobias that we've had all week, they have been to a great degree quite irrational. However, irrational because she's experienced dog attacks, dogs chasing her. So we've definitely got our work cut out for us today from that point of view. And I do think that we're going to have to really sort of get stuck in and spend a bit more
And
time
the one
there.
dog that, and it's not coming out now, so don't worry, but the one dog that could have come out there would have been the Rottweiler. How do you feel about that?
I don't know. I can't even imagine.
You can't imagine?
No.
Okay. all
Would
right,
that
well,
be your worst nightmare, a
Yeah.
Rottweiler?
Yeah, for some reason, big black dogs are particularly bad with, but
Yeah.
I'm not sure why.
Okay, well, the heart rate is racing around all over the
Yes.
place, 120,
We're gonna let you go and do
122,
your brilliant
116.
work.
So let's let you guys go and
Okay,
do what
thank
you
you.
do and what you've been doing amazingly
luck.
all week, and we'll see you at the end of the show, okay?
Thanks very much.
All right. Early this morning, celebrity life coaches Nik and Eva Speakman met 29-year-old Lisa Wainwright, who has a terrifying fear of dogs.
So, with just over an hour to work their magic, have they succeeded? Well,
Let's ask the
find
Speakmans
out.
first.
Yes, let's
how
come to you
do you
two.
feel?
Yeah, well, I think what we've got with Lisa, she's very, very nervous about being on TV, first of all, and what she's saying is because she's never been around dogs, she's not really sure what she's supposed to do.
Yeah.
So we just wanted to help her to be able to tolerate them. And yeah, she's feeling a bit confused at the moment. Yeah.
Well, we've had people all week. We've had people in here who have not really understood how you've done it, and it is changing. What is it that you're doing? Changing the way someone looks at something.
Yeah, it's the absolute perception, isn't it? Because ultimately, all these things that people are afraid of, they actually made them up. And what I mean by that is we're only born being frightened of two things, which is the fear of falling and the fear of loud noises. Everything else is learned behaviour. And ultimately, if you can convince someone that actually you've learned this behaviour, but it's not really doing any good, is it? It's not enhancing your life. In fact, it's crippling it in a lot of cases. Then people ultimately will start to accept it. And you know, our theories of our work is based on cognitive behavioural therapy, but that takes a long time. It can take upwards to 3 years, even if it's successful.
Yes.
We've condensed it, and obviously trying to get down into an hour is a challenge, because as I said, we normally work with a 4-hour basis, so you know the pressure's on with us.
Well, the week has been incredibly successful so far, so let's hope we continue now. Don't analyse it, you know, just go with how you feel. Let's get Diana in to put you back onto the heart monitor. I think you peaked at about 126, I think, if I remember rightly. That's where you were before. And obviously your heart rate will be up anyway, because you're not used to being on live telly, you know. But don't you worry about that. And as I said before, we'll go at your speed, your pace. There's nothing to be worried about. No big surprises suddenly.
And just go with how you feel, because, I mean, I've had this done, and I think the biggest thing at first is you don't know how to react now. Now that your mind's been changed somewhat, or the way you think about things have been changed, it takes a while for your habits to change.
Yeah.
It doesn't catch up as quickly as your mindset's changed, but your habit's still there. So it's very confusing, and everybody has seemed to experience this. So when we obviously show you the dog now, just listen to your head, see how you feel. Don't try and push it, don't force it, just be natural.
Yeah, I'm just really worried about letting everyone down, I guess.
But you can't let
anyone down, even if you can't do it. You know, it's not a problem.
Fine too.
It doesn't matter. We're not here saying every single one is going to work. So don't you worry. If you feel you can't do it, then we stop. It's as simple as that.
And like the Speakmans have said before, you know, normally you have longer, 4 hours at least, with people. So if it doesn't work now, they can go and work with you until it does.
It's not a problem.
You put a lot of pressure on yourself unnecessarily.
Don't do it.
I mean, don't forget, you've never known how to behave around a dog. You've had this all your life. You know, you've got to understand that.
What we're talking about now is just proximity, being around a dog, being near a dog. You do not have to become a dog expert. Okay. So what we did earlier on was we introduced you to some dogs, and we're going to introduce the same dogs to you now. Okay, we've got a heart rate of 115 at the moment, 108. So you've still got, it's dropping down a little bit now. Look at that. Oh, well, look at you. Look how.
Oh, you're not showing off now, are you?
I'm calming you right down here. Oh,
down to 80.
there we are. That's unbelievable. It's gone down to 80 now. Right, let's open the curtains, and we'll introduce you to the dogs that you have already met. Okay? Now,
Hello.
so let's bring out Elvis. If Elvis comes out, how close do you think you could get to Elvis?
Oh, that's all right.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Do you feel you could touch Elvis?
I do, actually.
Okay.
Do you?
If you feel you
I
could,
still
then
feel
do.
nervous, though.
It's all right. It's okay.
Nobody's going to make you do anything
I
you
don't know if I
don't
want
want
to
to do.
touch his face.
Have you ever touched a dog before?
Not really, no,
Actually,
I don't
Diana,
think
can
I
you
have.
leave that on? Is that all right?
Yeah,
Can you pop
absolutely
that, If
fine.
you pop that heart
Do you want
monitor
me to
back
leave
on again, just so that-
the heart monitor's still on, so that was just
What's the finger thing
oxygen.
for?
It does the oxygen and also clarifies the pulse as well. So the
That will
monitor
still
is
work.
actually still
Okay, that's good.
accurate.
Okay. There you go. No, listen. That was something that you probably wouldn't have done this
done.
morning. So there you go.
You've never
I mean,
done that
that's quite
before.
remarkable in itself. Even if that's all you do today, that's quite incredible. I mean, for you, seeing her do that, that must be...
amazing.
Yeah, it did.
Panda is
I
a
would never have
beagle.
imagined it.
Let's get Panda the beagle out. Hello, Panda. There we go. How close do you think you could get to Panda? Could you tap? Could
Still
you
a
pat?
bit-
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
Don't-
I don't want him to jump, but
Okay. Hello, Panda.
is
There
he
you go.
likely to jump?
More interested in Philip, I think, than you, you say.
I don't know about the head.
No. That's something that maybe you wouldn't have done. Now, before, earlier on, when we brought out Indy, who's a German Shepherd, Indy had to go out the back. You couldn't even bring Indy on the front. Can Indy come forward?
Yeah.
Yeah. There's Indy.
Hello, Indy.
Do you think you could? Do you think you could pat Indy?
I probably could pat. I'm still a bit worried about the mouth again.
No worry.
Don't worry,
Do you want
that's
to?
fine.
Do you want to? Do you want to bring him a little
bit.
forward? You don't have to touch the mouth. That's okay.
He's going to be
look.
curious, so he's going to naturally sort of turn his face towards you.
Yeah.
But
How
like
do
you
you
said, you don't know how dogs react. When you've
No,
never...
I don't know what he's going to do, and it kind of freaks me out a bit, but
Do you feel that you could lean forward and maybe touch his back?
if his face was a bit further
Oh, let's move him forward a little bit, bearing in mind that you couldn't even get close to him before. So you are now, and we were getting a bit.
How does that feel when you're doing that?
It's really emotional, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. You never would have been able to have done that before.
No.
No.
I was worried about being in the same room.
Yes. And look at that. So that in itself is an incredible step forward.
Yeah.
It is a massive step. It might seem small, but it is a massive, massive step for you. And I think that obviously you guys, you know, you can continue to work on this, and then, you know, the sky's the limit, really. But
We've got one more. Thank you very much indeed with Indy. Now we've got one more dog, okay? And this is the jackpot. Take this as slowly as you want. Don't have to do anything, okay? Because we're gonna introduce you to Roxy now, and Roxy's gonna come in at the back. Roxy is the one dog that you say is the worst of all of them.
Yeah.
In comes Roxy.
You did say curing this would be like winning the lottery.
It would.
Didn't
like
it?
when
There we
it's-
go.
Okay, so it's like you
let's
mentioned
just
the
hold Roxy there a minute.
This is Roxy. How do you feel about Roxy?
Hi, Roxy. Having a little
My
sniff.
heart's pounding a bit,
Yeah?
I have to be honest.
109. It's jumping between 97 and 109.
Hello, Roxy.
But
Hello.
the fact that you
Hello.
are in that close proximity to Roxy, what would you have said that was possible this morning?
I was dreading you bringing her out earlier because I had a feeling you'd got a Rottweiler, but no, it's not that bad. I mean, if she ran to me, I feel like I would struggle.
Yeah.
Do you know, if she ran to me, I think I'd do a little bit.
Me too.
I think that's quite natural.
Yeah.
Is that as close as she can come, or can she come down here onto the floor? You control it. You're in control.
Try her on the floor.
Okay, just down a little
I
bit.
just don't want her to come as close as the other one.
No,
No,
she
no,
won't.
don't worry.
That's fine. Look at that. Look where you are.
Hello,
Doing
Roxy.
Unbelievable.
Hello.
Don't underestimate how fantastically well you've done there.
Thank you very much.
You're doing brilliant. Well done.
Fantastic.
That's great.
Are you surprised at the level you've managed to reach today?
Yes, definitely. I mean, just thinking about it back in the room, I was really worried about showing myself up in, like, showing the whole thing up, but...
Right, you need to stop that.
Yeah,
You're not
I do
showing anyone up.
overthink things anyway, so I just, yeah, I feel better.
Good. Good.
Really
Well, I think you're
Done
very
really,
brave.
really
It's
well.
fantastic. I would never have dreamed to see Lisa stroke a dog or let one be that close. It's amazing.
If you were watching yesterday, you'll remember Lisa Wainwright. Now, she had a fear of dogs, and even though she did manage to stroke 2 of the dogs that were in the studio, she couldn't bring herself to face her biggest fear, and that was the Rottweiler.
But,
Yes, but
when the programme finished, Nik and Eva gave Lisa a little more help. And look at this, yeah, that is her stroking the doggy she had been so frightened of all her life.